Hey there, y'all. What's up, YouTube? This is John now, and yes, I'm hitting y'all in the head once again with another one. Thanks for locking in with me. Those of y'all that has locked in with me, and thanks for joining me. You know, and as far as for the subscribers I got this far, appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I'm hoping that y'all enjoying the content, and I'm hoping that we can keep it coming. As you know, we are the content. The content is us. So let's help to keep the content going, y'all. Today's subject and today's topic is um, why do we allow our lives and our fates to be in the hands of others and then turn around and complain about it? Why do we allow our fates in our hands to be in the lives, or excuse me, our lives and our fates to be in the hands of others and complain about it? Yeah, that's what I want to start off talking about today. I feel like a lot of times, and I think we all guilty of this. A lot of times we complain about the things that we have control over, and we complain about the things that we don't have no control over. But we tend to complain about the things that we have less control over more than we complain about the things that we do have control over. For instance, that's like if you're in a relationship, and you feel like you're in a toxic relationship. Simply put, and it don't take too much thinking about. And of course, it's not always as easy to do as it is to say. You know what I'm saying? But say you in a relationship that's no good for you. You know, you have a choice. You don't have to subject yourself to be in a relationship like that. The same as you don't have to reject yourself or reduce yourself to accept something that you feel or that you think that you are deserving of more or more deserving. So basically what I want to do is I want to stress the fact that that's energy that we need to bring back around to ourselves once again and look within ourselves and be like, okay, we have control over the situation, and that we are in control, and that we have the ability to change the situation and to change the course or the way that the situation is controlling itself or going. You know, you have a saying from one of my favorite philosophers, Seneca. Seneca says, what was the saying by Seneca? Seneca said, we basically he who refuses to rule is liable to be ruled by one who is worse than himself. He who refuses to rule is liable to be ruled by one who is worse than himself. So every time that we put ourselves in predicaments to, um, I'm gonna say to a lot of times either not to have a voice, or to feel like we don't have a voice, or to feel like we can't change our situations, or that, or to think that we're powerless over our situations. And that's something they stress a lot in AA and stuff like that. And that's and but in NA and AA they encourage you to do that so that you could get help. You gotta you know what I'm saying, acknowledge that you are you know what I'm saying, powerless over your addictions. And I think that's kind of hypocritical too. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not powerless over your addictions. Why would you give something outside of yourself power over you? You know what I'm saying? Nothing is telling you, even though we like to tell ourselves, like for instance, a drug is calling me. A drug is, okay, this bottle is calling me. This bottle of alcohol, this bottle of scotch, or this bottle of wine is calling me. We like to tell ourselves that that blunt or that weed is calling me. Scotty's calling me. as much as you like, or yes, as much as you like to tell yourself that truth is, nah, that's what you're telling yourself. We tell ourselves things. Just like when I was looking for the saying from the philosopher Seneca, when he was talking about how we allow others to be in control of us rather than us taking control of our own lives. I had to think about that once again, because before it come out of your mouth, it usually starts off as a thought. You think about it first, then it comes out. So it's the same with the control thing. Um, when it comes to use, you know what I'm saying? You're telling yourself that something else is calling you, or that something else is in control of you. Nah, you in control of that. You know why? Because when you shake those demons off, and when you shake that drug off, you know what I'm saying, and you finally just come to an existence or a reality where you can just cope with how things naturally are and just accept that, you know what I'm saying, without no drugs and stuff like that. That's you doing that. Who you gonna give credit to? You gonna have to look in the mirror and give yourself credit. You can't give credit outside of yourself over something that you did or that you accomplished. Why? Because you had the willpower and the brain power, you know what I'm saying, to not to succumb to that, but to overcome. You know what I'm saying, and to overcome that challenge and them difficulties. So my thing is, we need to turn that energy around, man, and reflect it back to self. Because the moment we do that, stop saying that we're powerless over things, or that things have control over us, is the moment that we gain that power back. Now, on the flip side of that, to a certain extent, there's nothing wrong with understanding that um, that you got it bad. Whatever it is that you may have it bad in, whatever it is that addiction may be. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with acknowledging that you got it bad, because the moment that you do acknowledge that you got it bad and that you have a problem is the moment that you can move closer and a step closer to a solution. So that part, you know what I'm saying, I'm definitely in agreement with. But again, we're in control of our own lives. If you don't like a situation, you have the ability, for the most part. Follow me now. For the most part, if you're in a situation, and you don't like it, for the most part, we have, and excuse me for that. No. We can't even say for the most part. We have the power and influence, and we have the power and ability to change our perceptions and to change our realities. Yes, we do. We have the power to change our perceptions and our reality. You know what I'm saying? In the moment we realize that, we'll stop giving credit and giving too much attention to forces outside of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get back to the basics, man, and learn how to conquer self again. And be in control of ourselves. And of course, it's not no walk in the park or nothing like that, and it's definitely a test. But what's life without tests? What is life without tests? Test, trials, and tribulations. What is life without that? So I believe in, the philosopher Seneca. It's one of my favorite philosophers. Once again, he also stressed that, each and every day we go to sleep, we should reflect and look back into our life, how we lived out throughout that day, and make sure that we either overcame a fear. We should ask ourselves, basically, he says, we should ask ourselves, what fear did we overcome today, and what virtue did we acquire? So each and every day we live our life, we should be trying to be the best us that we can be. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, it's a day-to-day thing. It's not like it's ever going to be a day where any one of us wake up and we're going to wake up perfect. We're never going to be perfect. But we're always going to have flaws. That's what we know for sure. We're never going to be perfect, but we're always going to have flaws. And as long as we live, and as long as we're around, we have the ability to work on these things. You know what I'm saying? And working on these things isn't going to do nothing but allow us to be the best person that we can be. You know what I'm saying? And once we become the best people that we can be, we get closer to being aligned to with our destiny, and we get closer to going back home, wherever home is, wherever we come from, wherever the soul come from. You know, I feel like I feel like I feel like as long as and I feel like this wholeheartedly. I feel like as long as God is not through with you yet, you're gonna continue to wake up each and every morning. As long as God is not through with you yet, you're gonna continue to wake up each and every morning. That means to me, and it's just my personal belief, I'm not forcing it upon no one. I believe that each and every morning, if God continue to give you breath and wake you up, it means that your destiny is not fulfilled. Your purpose is not yet fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? So it's not time for you to return home yet. I live in a town where, for instance, we just had here in Rochester, we just had a 3-year-old. Unfortunately, we just had a 3-year-old get shot in the head. You know, and peace and blessings to that child. And thankfully, the child was able to survive. You know what I'm saying, and recover. So like things like that, it allows you to know that there is a God and that there is a purpose. We just gotta find it. You know what I'm saying? 3-year-old get shot in the head and survive. Like that's just amazing to me. I can't even like fully comprehend it, to be honest with you. But I can say that that's amazing. And to add on to that, it's like it goes back to those testimonies. Like that's a walking testimony. That kid has a testimony and a story to tell. When that child get older, and God bless that child once again in the family, because that was definitely unfortunate, very unfortunate, you know, and it just goes to show you, we got to do much better. We got to do much better, man. But yeah, I was to get back to the allowing entities outside of ourselves to have control over us. I was just talking to a relative earlier, who's going through it as far as health and stuff like that go. And and once again, I know things are easier said than done, but I am walking proof and I'm a living example. Believe that. I'm walking proof and I'm a living example. Like if you're faced with a difficulty or a setback physically, you know what I'm saying? Those that we have control over, not a birth defect or something we born with physically or nothing like that, but accidents and things like that, or things that we can overcome. We can't just like the same way that we can't allow ourselves to be just completely codependent on a medication to do the job for us. It's the same. We can't be completely or totally or overly codependent when it comes to um relying on something else or somebody out of ourselves or besides ourselves to help us improve our health. No. And there's nothing wrong with accepting and embracing that help from outside of ourselves, but don't allow yourself to do it so much or to an extent to where you no longer have that willpower to do for self. You don't ever want to lose that, because the moment you lose that is the moment you're going to become codependent. You want to be independent as best you can. You want to be independent. You know what I'm saying? Until you have no choice but to be codependent. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to get it. You don't want to allow yourself to get to that. So the best way that you can help counter that, would be to do what it is that you need to do so that you don't have to go through that. And if you are going through that, know that with the exception of a back injury, there's nothing that you can't come back from. With the exception, as far as my knowledge go, with the exception of a back injury, there is no injury that you cannot bounce back from. You know what I'm saying? Um, we just gotta learn. We just gotta learn how to take that control back. And the moment we take that control back, we will realize that we can do more, and that power lies in our ability, and it's within our control. So yeah, man, I'm just glad, I got a chance, man, to stress this topic with y'all, and I feel like it's very much needed, man. It's definitely very much needed, man. And again, because it's honestly, just one of those topics, man, that you can go on and on about, because often and way too often of time, we always feel like other people are in control of our lives. This is the exact reason why we blame other people for stuff that whether it's a predicament we in, or whether it's something that I'm just gonna say something that we can change. It's so much easy to blame others, but what we don't realize is, when you blame other people, you're putting them in control of your life. You're giving them control. You're taking the control from yourself, and you abandoning the control from yourself, and you giving it to others. You leasing it to others. Why? Nah, take that control back. And we can start by taking accountability. The moment you take accountability, and we learn to take accountability for self, no matter who you are, the moment we learn to take accountability for self is the moment that we can gain control, and have enough control to where we can be in control of our destiny, our fate, and learn how to control our own shit. You know, but it starts with us, man. It definitely starts with us, man. Um, um, as we know, accountability is definitely one of those things, man, that people have a hard time embracing. It's just so much easier, man, to play the blame game. And in certain instances, um, I can actually say that um, a person a person being the right when they playing the blame game. You know what I'm saying? There's been times like people hate, like, when we bring up the whole slavery thing and all of that. People hate to hear that subject, and they be like, okay, well, it was so long ago, and now what are you gonna do that you got your freedom, and this, that, and the third. Like, just stuff like that. Like, those are situations to where, I can see where a person is coming from. But even then, like I just said, you can't be hypocritical. You can't keep placing that willpower, and you can't keep placing things outside of yourself and saying, yo, because of the next person, I'm not able to do such and such. Okay, yeah, true indeed. Because of the next person, you may be behind a little bit, but the next person is not in complete control of why you're not catching up. They may be um responsible to a certain extent and to a certain degree for the cause of you being behind, but they're not completely in control of the reason that you're still behind. And if you're gonna keep thinking like that and behaving like that, then that's another example of giving somebody control over you, your destiny, your fate, and what you're able to do and what you're able to produce. So like I said, I just want us to focus on and everything I'm speaking on. I'm not an expert at. No, I'm not an expert at, but it's things that I'm seeing, and because I'm seeing it, I'm talking about it. I'm speaking on it. And besides me just speaking on it, these are weaknesses and flaws that I've been trying to attack myself, or that I've been attacking myself also, so that I can turn these weaknesses into strengths. And I want to see y'all do the same thing, so that we can stop playing the blame game and just take accountability for what we can do. So yeah, man, that's just my share today, man. Uh, you know, I guess it's just another situation, a subject on accountability, man, and what we got control over. Don't let nobody be in control of your destiny or your fate, man. And again, the philosopher, I gotta quote it again, man. The philosopher Seneca said, man, he who refuses to rule is liable to be ruled by one who is worse than himself. So if you don't like the control, or if you feel like somebody else is in control of your life, how about you take control of your life once again and for a change, and you don't gotta have that complaint no more, and you can start by doing it with self. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me again, YouTube. Thank y'all, and as you know, man, we are the content. The content is us. So let's help to keep the content going, y'all. Peace and blessings to y'all, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.